Why would I allow you to drain me? You are not my child. I did not give birth to you. I am not your parent. I am not your mother. Why am I going to allow you to drain me? Maybe you haven't been doing the things that you enjoy doing. Maybe you've been so concerned with the other person's life and everything that's going on in the other person's world. One day I decided to make my life my own again because I am Tammy Lucrea. I have always been Tammy Lucrea, and there should be no reason why I'm not Tammy Lucrea right now. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I just want to talk about detachment and how this can be so beneficial to you and your life. I don't know why detachment comes across as so negative to some people, but it genuinely is not a negative thing. It depends how you approach it, how you deal with detachment, and your intentions behind it. So today I want to do a sit down video. I want to talk on the topic of detachment. This isn't scripted, this isn't like a learning video. I just want to feel like I'm speaking to my friends or, you know, someone who needs advice. So I want it to feel like not a therapy session, but like girl chat. Or if there's any guys watching this, you know, like a chat with your friends. That's what I want this to feel like. So sit down, relax, grab yourself a glass of wine. I have my Coke in my wine glass. I'm a bit of a weirdo. But yeah, let's get into it. Now, many people don't really understand the true meaning of detachment. Detachment is separating yourself from people or things that are no longer serving you. So it may not be a full separation whereby you will let go of something or not see someone ever again. So it doesn't have to be like a full separation. It could be like the fact that you're just wanting to distance yourself from a few people who you would normally be around all the time. Detachment isn't negative. It is purely something that you need to do for yourself to better yourself and your life. And detachment is healthy. If you have someone in your life or people in your life or things in your life that isn't serving you for the better, then why are you holding on? Ask yourself that question. Why are you holding on? Because if it's detrimental to you, if you're keeping relationships that are detrimental to you, what on earth are you holding on for? And that's a serious question. What are you holding on for? History, memories, habits, comfort? Now sit down and just take a few seconds to really think about what it is that you are holding on for. You have to let go to things that no longer serve you, because holding on to things that do not serve you is just going to put you in a rut. You're going to feel stuck. You're not going to elevate. And that's what you want to do in life. You want to elevate. You don't want to stay stagnant. And that could be in many different areas of life, whether that is work, whether that is in terms of who you hang around, or whether that is in terms of relationships. If it does not serve you, don't pay the price. If it does not serve you, pay it no mind. If it no longer serves you, you can be done with it. Now, you may not know what to look out for when it comes to signs that you need to detach yourself from someone or something. So let me give you a few examples. If you feel drained by someone, that is a sign that you need to detach yourself. Because why are you feeling drained? No one should be draining you. No one's going to drain me besides my children. I have 2 children. I have a girl and a boy. Young children. And they drain the life out of me. I'm just being honest, they do. But they're kids, they're supposed to. But besides my kids, if you're not my child, why would I allow you to drain me? You are not my child. I did not give birth to you. I am not your parent. I am not your mother. Why am I going to allow you to drain me? And If you allow someone to do that, then guess what? They're going to keep doing it. They are going to keep draining you for everything that you have. And to be honest, it doesn't have to be that negative. Some people may not realise that they're draining you. You know, some people don't realise their own actions sometimes. And they may not necessarily have any bad intentions behind it or any ill will behind their actions. But nevertheless, it could still be draining you. So, you know, you have to let go of things that, I'm going to say this a lot of times throughout this video, you have to let go of things that do not serve you or no longer serve you. Another sign that you need to detach yourself from someone is when you become overly dependent, or even if someone becomes overly dependent on you. Detach, detach, detach. Oh my goodness, detach. Because if you find yourself becoming overly dependent on someone, that is an issue right there. If you're overly dependent on somebody, then subconsciously, what is going on is you feel like you can't do life on your own. You feel like you need assistance every step of the way when it comes to your life. And there's nothing wrong with being dependent on people. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with people being dependent on you. But note the fact that I used the word overly dependent. You should never be overly dependent on somebody, because at the end of the day, they didn't give birth to you. They are not God. And before you met that person, you were completely fine without them. So they do not control your life. You are okay without them. And I just want to say that you are okay without them. And if it's the other way around, they are okay without you. Being overly dependent is a huge sign that you need to detach. And again, like I said earlier in the video, even if that means more distance, if someone's overly dependent on you, but you love them with all your heart and they are a close person to you, you've known them for years and whatever the reason may be, and you want to keep them in your life, distance will help, you know? So just keep some distance between you and them. Constant negativity is not going to serve you anything good. If you're around someone who is so negative, so negative about life, then, you know, you will start to feel that energy and it's only going to be destructive for yourself. And you've probably been through that before, where you have a friend or a work colleague or someone in your life who is so negative all the time. They don't see any positive in their life. There's no silver lining. It's just pure negativity. Something is always wrong, and all that negativity affects your energy, and the transfer of energy is real. That's why people say protect your energy at all costs. Protect your energy, because you don't want to be feeling other people's negativity all the time. And of course, okay, if someone needs you, if someone wants to vent to you, if someone wants to get some advice from you or whatever it may be, cool, that's fine. But it's the constant negativity. Cut that off. Cut it off. If someone is bringing their drama and everything that is going wrong in their life to you all the time, cut it off. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be living through that drama with them. Their drama is not your drama. Your drama is not their drama. Let's separate that, and I'll say it again. Their drama is not your drama, and your drama is not their drama. If you're advising someone, if they're asking for advice, cool, still not your drama. If they need help with something that's going on in their life, cool, it's not your drama. No matter what it is that you're helping with, what you're assisting with, it's separate. It's still their life, their drama. It's going on in their world, not yours. So just try and keep that separate. Make sure you're not drowning in other people's mess. And I don't mean that to sound awful, but you don't want to be drowning in anyone's mess. You don't. because now you're going through something that you don't need to be going through. You already have your own problems and issues and stuff going on in your life. You don't need to be dealing with the burden of other people's issues too. It's okay to distance yourself from people that are constantly bringing negativity to you. You're not a horrible friend, you're not a horrible family member, you're not a horrible colleague, you're not a horrible person. You're a person that wants peace. Is that a crime? Last time I checked, it wasn't. So let's not look at it as a negative thing. You can still be supportive and distant. You can still be supportive with boundaries. It's okay. Now, if you find that you're starting to lose yourself in a relationship, in a friendship, then maybe you should take a step back and realise that that relationship and that friendship maybe isn't for you anymore. Because the reason why you're losing yourself in the first place is because you're so occupied with that other person. You're so occupied and you no longer recognise yourself. You've sort of lost your identity. Why? Well, maybe it's because you've been so occupied in that other person's world. Maybe you haven't really focused on yourself in a long while. Maybe you haven't been doing the things that you enjoy doing. Maybe you've been so concerned with the other person's life and everything that's going on in the other person's world that you've sort of forgotten about yourself. Never forget about yourself. Never forget about yourself. Because at the end of the day, you matter. You matter. Other people matter too. And if you're like me, I'm a very caring person. I care about people immensely. And I'm very selfless. And I was such a people's pleaser back in the day. I say back in the day, I mean even a couple of years ago. I was such a people's pleaser. And it got to the point where I started to lose myself. And I am a mother, so I feel like I sort of lost myself in the motherhood journey too. But in terms of dealing with people and being such a people pleaser and just doing what everyone else wanted me to do, I sort of lost myself. And then one day I decided to take my life back. One day I decided to make my life my own again, because I am Tammy Lucrea. I have always been Tammy Lucrea, and there should be no reason why I'm not Tammy Lucrea right now. Do you know what I mean? So don't lose yourself for anyone else. And if you're losing yourself, then let go, because you matter. Like I said, you matter. And whoever it is should understand that you matter too. And they shouldn't feel any way towards you doing what's best for you. And that leads me into saying not to compromise your happiness. Don't compromise your happiness, because at the end of the day, we don't know how long we're going to be on this earth for. Life is short. Life is ticking. We can see how fast these years are flying by. God, we're in August already. Time is flying. Days seem to be getting shorter. Weeks seem to be getting shorter. And let's cherish the moments that we have on earth, and let's live every day like it's our last. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let's be happy. Gosh, let's be happy, please. Because being unhappy is just... Let me give an example of you being in a relationship. If there's certain things, if there's certain boundaries that you hold close to your heart, if there's certain things that you want to have in your relationship. For example, say you're in a relationship and the person that you're with wants to do something that you wouldn't necessarily do yourself. And it's great to try new things. Maybe that person wants you to move abroad with them. Maybe they want to move to a different state or city or whatever, and they want you to go with them. Now, I guess this can depend also on how long you've been with this person. Maybe you would be willing to compromise and go away with them if it benefits you if you would be happy to do that. But if you're unhappy to make that move, if you're unhappy to let go of your life and drop everything that you have going on to benefit them, don't do it. Don't compromise your happiness. And you're not bad. It doesn't mean that you don't love the person that you're with. It doesn't mean that you're scared of change or anything like that. It's to do with your happiness. If it doesn't make you happy, don't feel forced to do it. And if your other person doesn't understand that and doesn't get that, then that's quite selfish. That's very selfish, in fact. So don't compromise on your happiness. Stay strong. Don't feel forced to do things that you don't want to do. Be strong, okay? And let them know that I love you, I appreciate you. But love and appreciate me too. Respect my feelings, respect my wishes, respect me, and understand that I'm not going to be happy doing this, going there, living here. Stay strong. Now there's different forms of detachment. One could be physical attachment, and an example of this could be pictures of you and an ex who you used to love dearly, and you've held on to these photos for so long because you don't want to get rid of the memories. But yet you are dwelling on the past because you're holding on to these photos, and the more you see the photos, the more you think about the past, the more you think about your ex. But your ex did you wrong and they upset you, they hurt you. Maybe they didn't, but let's just use the scenario that they upset you and they hurt you and they did you wrong and they brought a lot of trauma to your life. Now, does that make any sense to you? You're holding on to photos of you and someone you used to date, you were married to, whatever it was, or maybe you weren't together with them, like you didn't have a title, it doesn't matter. Someone you had relations with, you had strong feelings for, however, they upset you, they hurt you, they disrespected you, they are the reason you guys didn't work out. And you may have loved them, but you don't really like them. Love and like are two separate things, but I'm not going to go too deep into that. And I'll say that again. You love them, but you don't really like them. So what sense does it make to be holding on to memories of this person that no longer serves any happiness to your life? They no longer serve you. What are you holding on for? If you dwell on the past, you will continue to live in the past. If you dwell on the past, you will continue to live in the past. That's a fact. And you may say, well, these photos remind me of the good times that we had. And, actually they make me happy. The good times make me happy. You think it makes you happy. But subconsciously what is happening there is these happy times, these memories that give you happy thoughts and happy feelings also does the opposite. Because the person that you had these happy times with and happy feelings with is the person that really hurt you, or is the person that you're no longer with. So if you think about the happy times, you're going to feel some sort of sadness too, and I hope that hasn't gone over your head. If you're thinking about the happy times, you're also going to feel some sadness too. It can't just be happy, you're going to feel some sadness because you're no longer with that person for a reason, and if the reason is because they've done you wrong, you're also going to feel those emotions too. So it's not only going to be happy emotions that these memories bring back. So if there's anything that is going to draw you back to the past and have you living in the past when really you should be living in the present and looking towards the future, cut it off. Let go of it. Whether that is photos, promise rings, jewellery that you were given, whatever it is, let it go. And of course we have emotional detachments, and that may be a relationship that you need to let go of, a friendship that you need to let go of, and if we're talking about a romantic relationship, it doesn't matter how long you've been with that person, because people can get attached in weeks. But the point I'm trying to make is you feel like, oh, it's super windy. The point I'm trying to make is that you feel like that person is your everything, and you feel like God brought them into your life for a reason. And although they might not be the perfect match for you, you feel like they can be. You feel like you can craft them into the person that you want to be. I'm telling you, you can't. I'm telling you, you can't. If that person wants to be someone who you want them to be, they will make that change for themselves. I'm not saying that someone won't change for you, but you shouldn't have to change someone. And I live by that. You shouldn't have to change someone. Just like someone shouldn't have to change you. You are the way you are. That person is the way they are. And I would never ask someone to change for me. I'd rather meet someone who is suited for me. I would never ask someone to change for me. And I feel like, I just feel like there's no point, because that person could end up resenting you. Now they're starting to lose who they are. Remember what I said before about losing yourself and feeling like you're changing your identity for someone else? Now, if you shouldn't be doing that, then no one else should be doing that for you. Okay, so let's not expect anyone to change for you. If they're not suitable for you, let them go. Don't try and change them. Let them go. If they're trying to live a certain life that you're not trying to live, if your path is now different to theirs, let them go. Don't have them trying to come into your path and do what you're doing. That isn't fair. If your paths do not align, then, you know, there's billions of people on this earth, and I'm sure there's one person whose path aligns with yours. Come on now. And that's how you have to think. You have to sort of detach yourself from yourself and be a person looking at yourself from the outside, and sort of analyse your life, analyse your thoughts, analyse your decision making. Okay, like, I understand that it's hard. I'm not saying that you can detach yourself from people with no emotions. It's called emotional detachment for a reason. There's going to be some emotions you go through in order to detach yourself. But if you're looking at it as a bigger picture, and you're looking at your life and what you want and your goals, these are steps that you have to take, and detachment is one of them. And that goes for friendships. Sometimes when you're trying to elevate, your friends can sort of not drag you down, but keep you where they are. And sometimes, this is what people say all the time, many people say when they elevate, they start to lose friends. Why? It could be a jealousy reason. It may be jealousy. People get jealous sometimes, and when they see you elevate, they don't like it because they're not there with you. So instead of being happy for you, they may feel some sort of ill feelings towards you because you have that and they don't, because you're here now and they're not. You know, sometimes it could be because you're basically hanging with people who are at the level that you're trying to be. And that doesn't mean like in terms of money or success. It could be a energy thing. You're around people who are just pure good vibes. You're around people who are excited about life. You're around people who are doing certain things that are similar to what you are doing. If you're hanging around people who are trying to better themselves, who are trying to become more peaceful, who are goal-driven, who are trying to become successful, sometimes you will lose people in your life. And that's a fact. But if you have a friend or friends or family members or whatever who aren't happy for your success, who aren't happy that you're elevating, let them go. Because believe you with me, if you have friends who aren't happy for your success, aren't happy for your elevation, then they're not true friends. They're not real friends. And that may sound like, oh, that's a bit cruel. That's not true. Well, tell me why they're jealous then. Tell me why they aren't happy for you. Tell me why they're not clapping for you. Tell me why. Exactly. Exactly. If you're not feeling genuine vibes, then they're not genuine people. They're using you for what you have. They're using you for what you can give them at the time. And if you can't give them what you used to give them, then they're not going to find use for you anymore. And see how we're going in a full circle here? You may be the person that's no longer serving them. Don't let that go over your head. You may not be useful to them anymore. You may not be serving them anymore. So now they don't need you anymore. Now they might not be detaching themselves from you, but instead you're getting negative vibes, jealous vibes, weird vibes. Why? You may be someone that is finally taking the steps to reach your goal, right? And your friends are used to you just chilling around, drinking, gossiping, you know, taking part in all of that type of stuff with them. That's what they're used to. Those are the good times to them and was the good times to you. But now you're choosing to do that a lot less and focus on your goals. Now your focus is going to the gym, being healthy. Now your focus is researching things for your business. Now your time is being put into things that are going to better your life. Your friends aren't there. Your friends are still drinking, gossiping. You see where I'm going with this? They're still doing the stuff that the old you were doing. And they don't like the fact that you're changing. So if they're not happy for you, I'm going to say this one last time, if they're not happy for you, taking these steps to better your life, then cut them off. You don't want that sort of energy in your life anyway. I just want to touch on family as well. Now, there's many people that feel that family, blood is thicker than water, and my thoughts on that, and it's always been my thought, the way I see it is, people are people. Whether they have the same last name as you, whether you share the same blood, whether you grew up with them, whether they're immediate family or not, people are people. And each person, and this is the way I see it, each person has their own character. Just because someone is your family doesn't mean you should put up with what they have going on. Doesn't mean you should put up with them. You could have a very horrible, toxic family member. And again, I'll say, just because they're family doesn't mean you should be putting up with them. Why? Because they're family? Because they're your sister? Because they're your brother? Because they're your cousin? Because they're a parent? And I know that may be touchy, but let's not pretend everyone's perfect. I'm not saying that to say people should be perfect. I'm saying that to say, maybe I should rephrase that. Let's not pretend everyone is good. Does that make more sense? Let's not pretend everyone is good. And again, if they are not bringing positivity into your life, if they are toxic, if they don't care about you and just care about what you can give them, if they're not going to help you elevate, whether they are a family member or not, you can cut them off. And it may not be the fact that you fully cut them off. It may be the fact that you just want to distance yourself a little bit, but you don't have to put up with the negativity they bring into your life. You don't have to put up with their negative opinions. You don't have to put up with any of that. Now, if you're someone and you're watching and you've been feeling to yourself like, oh, if it was up to me, I wouldn't have my brother in my life. If it was up to me, I wouldn't have my cousin in my life. There's a way to do things, and there's a way to approach things. And you can speak to people about things, by the way. You can put your feelings to people and let them know how they make you feel. It's your choice. If you want to do that, you can do that. If you're not much of a talker, and if you're the type of person that doesn't really enjoy explaining yourself and putting your feelings out there, you can distance yourself, and maybe someone can come to you and be like, what's up? At the end of the day, it's your life. Me personally, I am not afraid of putting my feelings to people and saying how I feel. I'm a pretty straightforward person. I'm very, very sweet. Very, very sweet. Like I said before, I was a complete people pleaser. I'm very sweet, I'm very caring and very kind. But at the same time, I'm straightforward. And if someone does something that is negative towards me, I will for sure speak on it. I don't have to rant. I don't have to rave. I will speak on it with respect, and then I'll leave you alone. My point is, it doesn't matter who they are. You don't have to accept anything that is going to bring you down, keep you from elevating, keep you from reaching your goals, keep you from being happy. And that's just the God's honest truth. You don't have to deal with it. So if you are dealing with it, take my advice, please, and put an end to it, and see how much you elevate from there. See how much lighter you feel, how much more peaceful you feel. And that goes with psychological detachment as well. You may be able to detach from physical things. You may be able to detach from emotional things, relationships. But sometimes the most hardest things to detach yourself from is psychological. Memories. Sometimes it is very, very difficult to detach yourself from memories. And it may not necessarily be good memories, it could be bad memories, things that you think of that really hurt you in the past, things that brought you trauma. Sometimes it's hard to detach yourself from things like that. Don't expect detachment to happen overnight. It's a process. And depending on your character, it could be incredibly hard for you to detach. And especially when it comes to psychological detachment, it can be so hard to detach yourself from thoughts and memories. It really can, because sometimes you can't help what your subconscious is feeding you. So it is a process. It is a process. But if you take the steps to try and detach yourself, then things will get better. Now, I want to say that you need to let your detachments be a healthy one. Let them be healthy. Don't detach and be bitter, because that is going to have the opposite effects of what you're going after. You want to detach but have peace. Peace in your mind, peace on your heart. Don't detach and be bitter. Don't cut off a relationship and have hate for the person. Have ill feelings for this person, even if they did you wrong. Please don't. Please don't, because I'm telling you, you're going to hold on to that feeling for a very long time until you're at peace with it. So let's do it this way. Have peace with the situation whilst you're detaching. Do it that way, because you don't want to hold hurt or bad feelings on your heart, in your mind, for that person you're letting go. It's not going to serve you anything but negative emotions and negative feelings. Be happy for the person. Be happy for the people you're letting go of. Whether that's friendships, like you have jealous friends that are upset that you're elevating all of a sudden. Be happy for them and wish them the best. Detach yourself with dignity. Detach yourself with class. Don't do it in a vengeful way, because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do here is better ourselves and our lives from the detachment. So let's do that with grace. Let's not do it with anger or resentment. Why? Why? You're detaching yourself for peace. So you shouldn't be feeling any negativity. We're trying to feel peace. The whole point of detachment. We want peace. We want to better ourselves. We want to elevate. So let's do it with grace. And I just want to end off now by saying that you're capable of having the life you want. And if you're watching this video, I'm guessing it's because you're wanting to know how to detach yourself from a relationship, a friendship, or whatever it is that you're trying to detach yourself from. And maybe you feel like you can't, or you haven't done so far because you haven't got the confidence to do it. You're so used to the environment you're in, you're so used to the relationships that you have, you're scared, you're fearful. You're fearful of life without that person or those people. Don't be fearful, don't be scared. Because if you have the mindset that you want to elevate and you want to reach your goals and you're determined and you're ready to take those steps, sweetheart, you won't fail. You won't fail because you've already put yourself in a place where you are so driven that you want to reach this new place. And you are going to be so focused to do that. And when you're so focused and no one can take that focus away from you, let me tell you, there's no stopping you. So you can't fail. You can't. I'm not saying that the road's going to be easy. That's not what this video is about. It's about detachment and letting go of things that no longer serve you, right? So take the steps that you need to take to make your life a better place, to bring peace into your world, to reach new heights, to see new things, be around new people, to experience the change that you've been longing for so long. Detachment isn't negative. Detachment isn't a bad thing. Detachment is healthy. For crying out loud, it's healthy. If you're detaching yourself because you want to be better, you want your life to be better, it is not a negative thing. What's negative is staying in a situation that doesn't serve you well, that makes you unhappy. That's negative. But for some reason, we're so comfortable to stay in situations that don't serve us. We're so comfortable to stay in situations that make us unhappy. We're so comfortable to keep relationships that drain us. We're so comfortable to be uncomfortable with life, our life. Isn't that strange? We're so comfortable to be uncomfortable with our life. Let's choose a new comfort. Let's choose a new comfortable. We have the power. We make the decisions. You have the power. You make the decisions in your life. And maybe it's taken a while for you to finally take the steps. But obviously, like I said, if you're watching this video, it's telling you something. Watching this video, in fact, is the first step. So well done. And I hope you've taken in what I've said in this video. I hope you watched the whole video through. If you feel like some things have gone over your head, replay this video. Use this video as your motivation because you have it in you to serve yourself the life that you deserve, sweetheart. And you'll do it. You'll do it. If you're serious about it, you'll do it. But anyway, that's the end of this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I really hope that it will bring some sort of clarity to you, your life and your thoughts. I hope, I've covered most of the things that you were looking for in this video. If you're taking the steps to detaching yourself from people, put it in the comments. Tell me who it is that because I want to know. Tell me who it is that you're detaching yourself from, how you did it, their reaction, put it in the comments, and I really hope everything falls into place for you. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, and if you want more videos like this, put it down in the comments, and if you liked it, then please leave a like as well. Yeah, let me know what other videos you'd like to see me do. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.